The public meeting is now commencing with the consent agenda. Items 25164 to 25182. Please note the conditions of approval as recommended by the various committees and recusals. Staff has noted Commissioner Nielsen's recusal from item 25167. Are there any other recusals to be noted? Let the record show there are no other recusals. And for the record, I just want to ask if anyone is here to testify on any item on the consent agenda. No, then let the record show there's no public testimony. Will someone make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I so move.
Second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. I'll let the record show it was unanimous. The consent agenda is approved with the conditions noted. So now we are moving to the public hearing, item number 25183. So I believe we have representatives. Please begin, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. And I'd like to present my newsstand proposal. This is the extended site plan. The newsstand is located on the northeast corner of 32nd and Broadway. Okay. As you can see, the exact location of the newsstand is right there. It's it sits as you may see on pictures, the next few pictures. It sits right adjacent to a stack of bikes from the Citibank bikes, and there's also a public pavilion there as well, so that just the public can sit and have a meal. Okay, and so I'm just going to move on, show you the detailed site plan. The detailed site plan, it shows all the dimensions, and they were approved by the other agencies for all the different dimensions that we show here. The dimension for the newsstand is 6 feet by 8 feet, and it has been changed multiple times so that there's enough space for all the other landmarks.
What was that public pavilion you referred to?
Right across from Macy's, there's a pavilion where there's no street traffic, car moving. However, there are chairs and tables.
About the temporary plaza.
Yes, exactly, correct.
Okay.
So
Now I understand. I was confused by the term pavilion. Now I've got you.
Plaza, my apologies. So it's a plaza that's almost like 20 feet, 25 feet into the road. And right before it, there's a small bike pathway, bike lane as well. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask as I'm moving through the presentation. And this right here, this photo montage is displaying what the newsstand would look like about the, I called it the clock tower. I don't think the clock tower came into my view. Oh, right here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And do you have a view that shows the statue in Herald Square?
Actually, I'm almost a block and a half away from Herald Square, so I didn't get an image of the statue. Because this
You're
is
a
on,
block and a half away.
almost a block away from, because this is 35th and Broadway, and where's exactly Herald Square?
34th, between 34th
And
and
35th.
34th and 35th.
You're about half a block.
You're
Half a block away?
Not a block and a half.
Not a block? Okay. Which statue is it again?
Well, it's anything of Herald Square.
James Gordon Bennett Memorial, otherwise known as the Believers.
Not really familiar.
Do you have a photo of the looking south image without the superimposed?
It would be this image, but that
The
truck,
truck
that's
is-
what we're referring to.
Oh, that right there?
Yeah,
Okay.
that guy right there. So the proposed newsstand would be basically right here.
Right there, right across from the Santander Bank.
Right.
Correct.
And that's what's going to be, I know that.
You want an image of the statue, so and you were also asking for the area that's dedicated for the public. There is this. And on certain days of the week during the summer, there are some vendors that like to sit there in the area and sell their products.
Where is the city bike rack?
The city bike racks are right here.
Okay, I see it.
You see, the bike racks are empty right now, but a lot of times they're up full. Would you like me to pass these photos around? Do
How
anyone-
is that?
Difference between this view and the looking south. This is everything we're concerned. So
Correct.
if we could compare them, we would be able to make our concerns crystal clear.
Correct.
So can we do that?
Do you want to load the testimony for receipt?
So,
We can pass it around, that's fine.
Did you do these photographs that show this, or where did they come from?
I don't think I took those
Those
photos.
were provided from the property owner.
Well, the property owner
Yeah, he
provided these.
submitted testimony, but isn't here.
I understand, okay. Would you take a look at these photographs and tell me whether you believe that they accurately represent the state conditions? And where you're,
This is, I mean, I would just
Also,
take a
the
quick
image
look
on
at
the
it.
screen is useful,
is,
Useful but not compelling because,
not as compelling.
not as compelling. Because we're assuming for the time being that people will be walking on the signage, not necessarily in the temporary plaza. Because if you believe the temporary plaza is permanent, then there's a little less.
That's it.
So these images, I believe, they're not exact representation of my newsstand, of the proposed newsstand, my apologies, because this newsstand is 6 feet by 8 feet, and an average block in New York City is 5 feet. From the look of it, that's way bigger than 6 feet. Here, also, the representation, it doesn't show it properly. It's definitely smaller than 1 block in length.
what did you say? I didn't understand.
The concrete scoring.
The concrete dimension, so the proposed news plan is 6 feet by 8 feet, right?
Yep.
And so one of the measurement tools that we use many times is that the average size of a block is 5 feet by 5 feet. And this proposed newsstand is almost more than a block and a half.
What was wrong?
Of cement block. So that looks like almost being like 8 feet by 8 feet, or maybe 7 feet, 7.5 feet.
Kind
Or,
of doesn't matter.
The one you put down there just now,
It does block the view. I mean,
I'm sorry?
If you're coming down the sidewalk, that's a view blocker.
okay.
So the Public Design Commission spent years in formulating very detailed guidelines, which were designed to help applicants such as yourself as to the appropriate location for a newsstand on the sidewalks in New York City. That's why we volunteered our time and our energy to do that, so that these situations could be relatively straightforward and people would know that they would be entitled to a newsstand, assuming obviously the Department of Consumer Affairs and all the other requirements, if it met the specific guidelines. And one of those guidelines, in fact, one of the key guidelines for us, was that a newsstand did not in fact block either a view of a public statue or a public plaza. And I think if you go back in the slides you're showing that we saw a minute ago, particularly the one on the bottom, walking south on the western sidewalk, which is where we believe, because this is only a temporary DOT plaza, people will be walking, the looking south. That the looking south image at pedestrian height totally blocks the view of people who are on the edge there, particularly with the canopy of the monument and the clock that exists in Herald Square. And that is in, I think, many of our view, and I don't want to speak for everybody, is a clear violation of the specific guidelines that we promulgated. Were subject to public comment, reviewed, published, and available. That's what makes our approval of this newsstand, to be blunt, almost impossible.
Okay, now, this image that was taken, it was not taken at eye level. I do like to point that out because when making the photo montage, I had to make sure that we were getting everything so the proposed newsstand set properly. So it was taken actually from almost 3 inches above the umbilicus.
About my height.
But I do understand your concern, and also to point out, this is blocking one block, one
Paper.
cement block,
One paper block.
one paper block. There's almost three additional, if not a little more, blocks that is open and wide. And that statue is not even towards this side, it's more of towards that side. So if that's a major concern, I definitely understand. But a blocking of the statue, if you were to step back further, it would only be blocked if an individual was standing right there at that position. And this picture was again taken from this position, almost,
Don't worry about the line.
okay, almost I'd say about 3.5 feet from the ground, just so that it could be positioned properly for that occasion.
I think that Commissioner Ahrens has stated our guidelines very accurately. And it really doesn't matter whether it only blocks a portion of the sidewalk or a third or a quarter of the sidewalk. The point is that when one is looking and moving southward, that is within half a block of a significant public monument and a significant public open space. And our guidelines strongly, quote unquote, discourage newsstands in those locations.
In that case, may I please ask, whenever there are the canopies on certain days of the week, those things are blocking the entire street, and that's blocking a lot of view, blocking a whole lot of traffic, walking traffic, and bike traffic as well.
We don't
So
have
may I ask, I'm sorry?
We don't have jurisdiction.
And
is,
I actually had it on my previous image.
We're good, we know where it is.
we know it is.
We know where it is.
There are instances where newsstands are relocated for reasons of interference with work, and we have no jurisdiction over those relocated newsstands. So we would have to do research to find out as to whether that was an approved location or whether it was relocated without our approval.
I've been working on this specific application for something about 3 years now. I'm not sure if you guys were aware of the situation that occurred with this specific application.
If it didn't come to us, how would we know?
Okay, so for the past 30+ years that I've been working on this newsstand application, this other newsstand across from me was present. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure if relocation took place 3 years ago or not. But the one thing that I did want to bring to your attention was that until very recently, I was under the assumption that this proposed new site plan was approved. Okay?
Was approved?
Was approved
By who?
by the Public Design Committee.
Where did you get that impression from?
I-
I think we have some work to do with DCAS.
Sorry?
I think we have some work to do with DCAS to get you guys the right information. Oh, sorry, DCA. Sorry.
DCA,
Yeah.
correct.
They told you that we had approved this?
Not they particularly, I'm not sure who exactly was responsible for this, but the one person who was in charge of, throughout the time that I've been working on this newsstand application, there has been multiple employees in DCA newsstand throughout the years, and this was the 4th individual that I started working with, and she provided me documentation from both the Public Design Committee and also the, who are the people that does the DOT, thank you, and DOT stating that this newsstand was approved, okay? And I did not know about this until I came back from one of my rotations, and when I came back, I was supposed to give my money to see Musa. And when I was confronting, I found out that my newsstand, with this proposed newsstand, I was provided documents from another license located in the East Village. So I was given the roundabout by this individual for about 1.5 years, and I assure you, I have visited DCA almost 3 to 4 times a week. I do my rotations at Mount Sinai School of Medicine, so it's on my way. Every individual in that office knows me by name, because I used to do my lectures there all the time. And this individual, Tamara Vega, that's her name, she gave me the spun around every day.
She told you we had approved this.
She gave me documentation that I did provide as proof to the Department of Consumer Affairs. I had a whole meeting with Elena and multiple other individuals, and their Attorney General as well. I can't recall his name at this moment.
Miss, can I say something? I'm sorry.
Yes, please, Edgar.
My name's Edgar, I work with the Department of Consumer Affairs. We're aware of the situation, our directors are aware of the situation, and we're handling it. So there's just nothing more that I can say at this point to him bringing this issue up.
Thank you.
Thanks, that's helpful.
Should we take it off consent or?
What's on consent? It's a public hearing.
So I would just like to bring that out to you guys. I had to redo every single one of his documents. The Sovereign Bank changed to Santander Bank. I had to redo, my architect had to redo every single document that you see here. Okay, a lot of the stores across from us changed. The pavilions got placed in. Also the bike racks got placed in. Okay, so within the last 3 months, I had to resubmit everything again. And mind you, I've been working on this for almost 3+ years. I started medical school and I'm almost done. And I'm still working on this application. So therefore, it's a little bit of a frustration putting in so much effort and shattered just because of one evil psychopath individual. It's preposterous, believe me.
Well, she is not within our jurisdiction,
I definitely understand.
so we are sympathetic, but we can't do a thing about it. But in speaking about what is within our jurisdiction, I would like to move that this particular design not be approved.
Do we have a second?
Is there any way that I can, any changes that can be made to this new stand that can persuade you otherwise?
Well, it does block the view, and that's,
It's the location.
It's an issue of location.
Location only.
you just have the wrong location.
And it's clear in the documentation that you can.
What's truly
Can't
clear
block
on the
view.
documentation is actually, it's sort of vague. I mean, on the
Well, I think it
documentation,
says you can't block a view. You can't block, you
Technically-
can't block a, Herald Square's a landmark.
you don't think,
You never heard the
The
lyrics
other-
to Give My Regards to Broadway?
no, I mean, definitely I
I
have.
mean, it's like, it's not like you blocked an arbitrary tree.
The issue is the other things that do block it, we don't have jurisdiction over.
The other newsstand,
Yeah.
I thought-
standard was installed across the street with no record of approval.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The newsstand that's across the street shown here, we have no record of having approved that newsstand either. So all we have is jurisdiction over your newsstand. We were in the middle of a vote. We are sorry for your
Bad treatment.
bad treatment, but it is, we don't have any jurisdiction over that situation. And we have one obligation, and that is to the public realm of the city of New York. And under our guidelines, which are very clear, that newsstand, any way, shape, or form in that location blocks a view of a significant open space and a significant public sculpture. And so we were in the middle of a vote. We had a second. Can I see